and welcome back to Buff's Garage. I've got a barn, it's got cars in it. That makes this a barn find video. So I'm out here in rural Kansas, which harkens back to my high school days many years ago. And one of my high school classmates hit me up and said, hey, we've got a whole barn full of vehicles that you might be interested in. So we worked our way out to the middle of nowhere, but we're out here to check out a barn full of old vehicles just to see if there's something new we can pick up for Buff's Garage. Well, my quest to go get these cars hasn't started so well. I already lost another tire. The new spare that I got after hitting the old cornfield with the last one went ahead and blew up on me, but you know, it did pretty good. Made it all the way to Sioux City, Iowa and back, and has made several trips since then. And then these guys, Spinners, down by Welch, Oklahoma, these guys had another tire for me, threw it on and got me back on the road within just a few minutes. So thank you guys. Off to the barn. So the owner of the barn has leased this out along with the land, and it is full of vehicles. And this owner doesn't want these vehicles, they just want them gone. So Buff's Garage to the rescue. There's about 9 different vehicles on the property and a couple of them in this barn. So let's go check out our barn finds. I think we can help them get some of this stuff off the property, clear it out, and make it useful for them in the future. Because as it is, all this stuff's just taking up space. It becomes home for rodents and all kinds of things. And yeah, I think we need to help them get it cleared out. So. Starting off good with a, what's that, a 69 C10 hood. Got some 5 lug rims. It looks to be a 69 to 72 C10 long bed. Originally green, but it's had some paint done to it. Somebody's primered the cab. Doesn't really smell like anything. Got some wheels in the back. No door handle to do the door handle things. I'll figure out a way to get in there. This one's still holding air. That's a good sign. Let's see if there's anything under the hood. Oh no! But no engine. What a bummer. Oh, look at that cool horn. Looks like they were in the middle of an engine swap, and for whatever reason, just abandoned it. So I guess I'll take a little bit better look at it inside and maybe figure out what's going on with it. Oh yeah, this side's buried. No door handle there either. If the camera's shaky, it's because it's about 40 degrees right now. But this place has got to be cleared out so that they can start using it for actual farm stuff, and it's kind of now or never, and you don't pass up opportunities like this in the car world. So the other option is this all ends up going to scrap, and we don't want to see another, you know, classic vehicle go to scrap. So whew, here we go. Well guys, it is really cold out here, so the best way to warm up is, you know, get the body heat going. So I guess we start moving stuff out of the way and make room to pull this truck out. Trying to move all the obstacles out of the way so we have a clear shot on getting this out. The wheels on this side are buried right now. The front driver's side is the only one holding air. This one's pretty much out of the dirt, and I could probably try to put some air in it, but I can't even really get to those two. So I think the best chance I have is hooking up, seeing if we can't get it out of here, and then work with whatever is left. Ooh. Save that for Dalton. That's a Duraspark. What a shame. It looks like it has new exhaust under it. Like 2.5 to 3 inch exhaust. I just wish there was an engine. Oh well. Work with what you got. There's a starter. We're building an engine one piece at a time. Let's see if we can't get this out of here. This will either work or it won't. Somewhere I've lost my log chain. It's probably buried in the back of that Avalanche. But if the strap don't work, I can always go digging in the parts out here and see if we can't find something that'll connect these two vehicles and I can yank it out of here. Alright, let's go again. Well, we have movement, but unfortunately the wheels turned. And when the wheels turned, it's starting to get close to the barn over here. So let's figure out how to get the wheels turned and start guiding this thing out the door. Just want to point out that I did not show up with a bucket of dirt and put barn dust all over this. This is clearly in a barn with accumulated barn dust. Made it harder than it is. Push the little button right there. Door is open. Man, look at that green. So this had a white top, two-tone with the green. Love that color. It's a gorgeous color. It's got a different steering wheel, automatic column. Looked like it was an AC truck. Somebody added fancy speakers to. Antique plate. Just a little bit of garbage. Rat's nest. Oh, read that in. Oh God, that's good. That's amazing. Wood. So I guess, oh yeah, that column needs some work. But look, there's a whole other column right there. Yeah, this is a cool truck. There's the door handle. Although, I'll bet you I could get the hookup from Benco Designs. Give me some really cool custom billet ones. All right, let's get this thing out of here. All right, we got our one inflated tire to turn just fine. Got some wood underneath. That one's kind of stuck. Yeah, that tire, I don't think that one's gonna hold air anymore. You know what though, that one's holding air. Let's see if I can get this out of here. Well, let's get the truck out first, and then I'll see if I can get that wheel and tire out. And if that wheel and tire fits, we'll put that one on, and then we got two with air. Score! Back to pulling. Well, it pulled it away from the barn, but now the wheels are turned again. So let's get those straightened back where we want them. More. It wasn't a hard and fast work truck, because there's not a lot of damage to this bed. A little bit of rust right here. Got the metal. Little whiskey dent there. I'm sure there's some Bondo in the cab. That door's been replaced on that side. But all in all, not a bad truck. Let's keep pulling on it, see if we can't get it out of here. Let me check those steer wheels. Yep, they have turned the other way again. I'm going to give it a little pull. I'm going to come back. I'm going to give it a little pull, then I'm going to come back and make sure those wheels are turned again, because we are real close to the door. And I want to make sure that we don't damage the barn and we don't damage the truck. So it's tight, but we're almost there. And just like that, it is out of the barn. Well, I guess the good news is that wheel actually turned. So, not sure if it was locked up, but it's not now. Got some Uniroyal Tiger Paws straight out of the 90s right there. Windshield glass looks good. Side window glass looks good. We got to figure out why it won't roll up, but it's probably just regulator or something. Got the Auga horn, power steering, heat AC, power brakes. This was a well-equipped rig. Even got the washer bottle. We've lost the precious 70 whatever grill. I'd say 72. Now we can get to this side. Whoa, look at that rim. That's a cool rim. This side looks to be fairly intact. But from looking in the inside, you can see this door is a different color. So that's been swapped. This side of the bed doesn't look horrible. That's metal. Yep, that tire also has seen better days. But we know we got at least one we can dig out of there and probably make it fit. Well, there's the torque converter, an AC compressor. Original fuel tank still back there. Whole lot of animal nest. Well, let's look in the glove box. Maybe a possum will jump out. Nope. Let's see. Here's what model is. Body side molding, 4-season air, hydraulic brake booster, turbo hydromatic. Okay, so it had an automatic. Wow. Full wheel covers, gauges. It was white with medium olive paint, tinted glass, belt molding, auxiliary springs, 350 cubic inch V8, power steering, push button radio. This was a seriously classy rig. Look at that headliner. Look at that. It is a Cheyenne. This was a fancy truck. We'll try the Hyper Tough. I don't know if this is dollar store or Walmart, but what? Let's see if it'll put some air in this. You got collared lug nuts on a steel wheel. Pretty sure that's destined to fail. I don't know, maybe it'll get it up on the trailer though. Not likely. Gotta get it close enough to have room here, which consequently gives me no room. Yeah. Now that is tight in there. Not too optimistic, even if I do get this thing on there. Yeah, even from this end, the exhaust looks brand new. It's pretty cool. That should be enough to get it onto the trailer. Well, I did find a couple of rims that had tires that with this little air pump are able to hold air. They don't look good. I just need them to hold air long enough to get on the trailer. So I went ahead and started taking this one apart. Get these collared lug nuts off of this steel wheel, because that's safe. And this one's already got the brake upgrade. High dollar, you know, Big woods. Are you tired of working on brakes? Do you want those high dollar specialty brakes that you can't afford? Because just like me, you're broke. Get yourself a can of paint and a decal from buffsgarage.com and you too can have Big Wood. That's right, Big Wood brakes have all the performance value of your factory brakes. Well, as good as they were before, but now with a red lacquer coat and a small little decal. You too can be the envy of all your friends at all the big car shows and cruise nights, but all you need is a can of paint and a Big Wood decal from Buff's Garage. And for a limited time, we have Big Wood t-shirts in several sizes, all at buffsgarage.com. Get yourself some Big Wood. The ladies just love Big Wood. That's fancy. Looks like the coil springs in the rear have been, oh yeah, they're either collapsed or somebody's lowered this truck. I mean, a lowered C10 is pretty cool, but if we want it to ride better, we're gonna have to fix that. Rear end looks okay. Everything else seems to be there, it's just missing an engine. Let's get this wheel on and we'll have an excuse to use our collared lug nuts here. I do like these rims, these old style mag rims. So if, I only got two it looks like, so unless I find two more laying around, it would be cool if we could find two more. If we can't find two more of these, then I need to find a new set of rims, which means I'm going to need some new lug nuts. So I'm going to hit up my buddies over at lugnutguys.com. They've been awesome in supporting the channel. And I'm telling you, they've got all kinds of stuff in their inventory. All else fails, give them a call, shoot them an email. They're super receptive, quick to get back, and they're going to give you a heck of a deal. And if you go, tell them Buff sent you. That might get you something, I don't know. I'm usually of the philosophy two will do, but I'm going to go ahead and run these other ones on just to make sure they don't fly off while I'm going down the road. All right, there's one. That front one's holding air. This one's holding air. The front driver's side's holding air. So we just got this one left, and we can put this on the trailer. Little squatty. But it'll get it on the trailer. Well, I got it moved from where it was, lined up with the trailer. So now it's time to get the ramps out and load this sucker up. Guys, I really got to get my winch on this trailer. That hand ratchet, hand crank, come along, whatever you call it, that's some hard work even when it is 40 degrees outside. But as you can see, C10 Cheyenne is on the trailer. Yes, it's backwards, but most of the weight's in the bed, not in the front anyway, so in this particular case it works out just fine. It'll travel fine. But now I guess we're gonna strap this down and throw on some more stuff. We're making a load. We might as well load everything up onto the truck and take as much as we can and get this out of here, and then I guess see what we can do with it, because obviously we need an engine and I don't have one laying around. but this is definitely the candidate for one. So let's just get this strapped down and get this one out of here. All right, I'm all loaded up. Time to take this truck back south. If I've got anything good, I'll share it with you here on Buff's Garage. Well, okay, I got the truck to the family farm. Now we're going to clean out the back, get it off the trailer. Well, before we do that, let's get a closer look at this thing in the daylight. Just get you guys up in it so you can see all the detail and kind of see what I got here. Without an engine, I'm kind of screwed actually, but maybe somebody will come through and we'll get an engine for this. And before the end of this episode, we might actually be able to run and drive it. Probably not. All right, we know what's going on up front. The biggest downfall here is we're missing the nice 72 grill. The bumper's kind of caved, like somebody pushed up against it, which is a real shame because the bumper's otherwise really good shape. But we'll see what we can do about that. Might be able to straighten it, and of course polish it up, make it look good. We'll just have to see. All right, so going down the fenders, kind of already showed you, not a lot of Bondo going on, even though it's been primered. My concern was they primered over a mess, but what I found was this door is a different color than the rest of the truck. So maybe they primered it so it'd match, I don't know. But you can see it's blue, and the rest of the truck is green. And rat's mess. There is Bondo here. That's still metal. So this has two shades of green. The lighter is the original color, which is a medium olive. Now this was a two-tone truck. Now you guys tell me, was that, I know the top was white, but was the bottom also? Or how did that work? Was this part green and then white in the middle? And I mean, I've seen several different two-tone trucks, but I'm not sure, being a Cheyenne, what the actual paint scheme was. I can see there was green below, and I know when you open the door on the driver's side there was white on the cab. So maybe white in the middle, or maybe all of this was green. But we know the trim's missing, the holes are here, so we know it had a trim package. We saw that on the glove box. And the holes are still here for the back and around here, which all that's still metal too. The underneath looks pretty good. Like I showed you before, that exhaust is new. It's got its drive shaft. Those rebuilt drums there, those look amazing. Got discs on the front, also rebuilt. Got a beautiful Tiger Paw Uniroyal. We showed you that one yesterday. Kind of oily under here, so whatever engine was in here was leaking some oil. A little bit of rust in the rocker here. That door is an original. Sounds a little dull there, but there's more green underneath the black. A little bit of rust here, that's an easy fix. A little bit there. You got your mounting holes. Oh, there's a little piece of rust right there. And a little dent here. Must have bumpered it somewhere, which is probably why the bumper's not there. Of course, this is pretty cool. Out of Salem, Illinois. But the bed's got two different colors of green here. We've got this color, which I think is the medium olive, and then whatever this color is over top of it. It's pretty, it's got metallic in it. There's the original color. Got some rust in the bottom. I can't imagine why. But missing the door cards on both sides. That door is a different color, but still missing door cards. Factory AC truck. Yeah, that's fine. Has all the gauges here. It has AC controls. And it was an automatic truck. So maybe some of this is original. These aren't. That's very 90s. I'm guessing somebody did some work to this in the 90s, which is where all of this mess came from. Look at that headliner though. I mean, that is beautiful. Oh yeah, still good. Still solid. Let's not go any further there. Okay, even though it's primered now, the original color was that medium olive white combo. We can just color olive.
So for a 52-year-old truck, it's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, I think so. Now we just got to get in it and clean all the previous resident's home out of it. So that's going to be fun. Even though it's not bad out today, but it's not summer. It still smells pretty bad. So yeah, I think we're going to put some masks on and get the shop vac out. And I mean, the whole dash and everything is just, it's bad. It's really bad. I don't know. It's not going to be fun. If you guys want to buy some barn dust, they sell this stuff on eBay apparently. If you ask the other comments below, they say that you buy buckets of barn dust and put on these, that's not real, that you didn't actually get it out of a barn, even though you guys saw me do that. But I guess if you want to buy some barn dust, or no, I probably shouldn't sell them rat's nests. There's a hazard there. But you want to buy some barn dust, hit it up in the comments and we'll auction it off. No, I bet you might.
There's a door handle.
You might. Oh, look, mouse house.
Don't think that's original.
It is.
Is it?
Yeah, that's original. Just like that.
Okay.
But if you go to bincodesigns.com, he has custom billet ones. Those are really, really nice. I mean, I like to reuse what I got, but if I don't have a set of two, I can always go to Binco and get some. We are absolute professionals here at Buff's Garage, so we absolutely took every safety precaution possible in preparing to remove this from the trailer. We're going to use our high dollar patented push technique to remove this. I can't see that there's going to be a problem. I see no issue at all. So let's get started. See, told you. See, it missed the shop by just a little bit. We made it. CS Scrap 190 8505. Well, if we don't look at the name, the last time it was, at least this paper was in this box, was 8505. So not quite 20 years, but I felt like it was going to be close. Got a 6 lug rim, pretty much worthless tire, 16-inch anyway. Another rim over there. On the plus side, the bed's still solid. See, I told you, 10mm socket. Running away. There it is. Stay. Okay, so we're going to clean the rest of this stuff out just so it makes it easier to get all the leaves and mouse nest and everything out of the back. And we'll put our salvage pile on the trailer and our keep pile off to the side here, and then we'll start the cleaning. Yeah, I don't know if you remember me grabbing this when I was at the barn. I was gonna take this to Pole Barn Garage because it's an original Motorcraft. But if you look, yeah, it's already leaked all its good juice out. So now it's scrap. And so begins the task of cleaning this out. Yummy. Really is a shame. Look at that. It's only got a little crack there and a little crack there. Don't mind that. That's okay. Here's another plate. Torque converter, AC compressor, steering column. Holy moly, that's a tilt steering column. You better hang on to that. That would explain why they were taking this one out. That's the original, because it's green. This one's black, but it's a tilt. That's what they were doing. I assume this is the torque converter for this truck. I'm sure it'll be just fine. Don't mind what's in the hole. Just don't look. Well, this had a seat cover on it. Look at that. How's it going over there?
Great. Did I have 2 gas tanks or what is this switch? Look, I found something.
Put it in the comments below, guys. What is this? I know some of you already know, but drop it down there anyway. No, because there's a gas tank back there, we can't, tilt the seat forward. Would be kind of cool to see what's back there, but I'm guessing more rat's nest. You know what this calls for? A new tool I just got. There's the company. Depths Tech. All for your joy. I don't know what that means when you send me something like this. But I want to give a shout out to them for sending this to me to try out on the channel. I think this is the perfect project to unbox this and take a look. Look at that. All for your joy. Who needs a colonoscopy? It's got this lovely little handheld screen for the camera. It looks like it is a lighted camera. So what we need to do, get all this hooked up. I guess probably charge it. Yep, there's a charging cable included with it. Get it all charged up and take a look inside that gas tank. What'd you find?
A part of whatever was living in here?
That look like a possum maybe?
I have no idea.
Yeah, that looks like a possum. Olive, why are you killing small animals? I think they got so old from being happy and living in their home that they just passed away. And that's how we all want to go, is at home, right? In our sleep.
Well, I hope there's no living ones in here. Nothing living.
All right, what'd you find?
Paperwork.
What?
2006.
2006. It was this vehicle?
72 Chevy.
Okay, so that's the last time, according to the paperwork, that it was registered. So the paperwork shows that the last time that this thing was registered and insured was 2006. So it's not quite been the 20 years that I thought, but it's been a while. That's pretty close. So we're gonna have to pull this carpet because it's just disgusting.
Yeah,
and we'll see what's left.
Seat's probably gonna have to come out to do that.
Seat is just ate up, unfortunately. Now,
too bad it didn't all look like this.
I know that side looks great. This side not so much. But you know what? I'll bet we could get a cover for this and recover it. We didn't even look at the miles, but that other paperwork showed an odometer discrepancy, so we don't know if this is even the right amount. I'm guessing it's 125,000, and that's what the odometer discrepancy is saying. Look at that brake pedal pad. Check. Just like factory. But look, it's got a key. It's got the original key. It's got the cigarette lighter. It's got a Pioneer stereo. This thing is top of the line. Just don't mind the steering column. Look at that green carpet. Isn't that pretty? Well, we'll clean the bed out. Still needs to be washed. Got most all of this out of here. Really is a shame about that seat. Inside looks really good. Inside not so much. Well, we got the truck inside the shop for now. We need to call it for today, so we'll come back tomorrow and start working on it again. So we'll pick up where we left off now. Well, I stopped off to pick up some engine hoist equipment and a few other knickknacks just to get this project on the road. I did pick up this snazzy 72 Chevy grill. Thank you, Marketplace. All right, on to the family farm. Oh, and did I mention it's snowing? Yeah, it's snowing. Well, all this snow outside sucks. Thank goodness the family farm has a shop I can work in, even if it is pretty cold. But I got the heaters going. But you know what else sucks? The vacuum. So let's get into this thing and start vacuuming it out. Well, this didn't turn out too bad, but it's not great, and the smell, even in the winter, is pretty overwhelming. So I'm gonna hit it with some super clean. But as you can tell on this side, that is in there permanently. It's never coming out. They use that as their bathroom, apparently, that spot and that spot over there. And they really like the door sills because they are destroyed on both sides. But yeah, it's better than it was, I guess. But I'm still gonna have to pull the carpet. Seat's gonna need to be redone, but for now, let's see if we can't clean it up a little bit. So I don't know if it's the right tool for the job, but I'm gonna be using Super Clean to clean off the seat and the dash and all of that area, and hopefully it kills whatever bacteria and viruses are still alive on the surface. I'm using the foaming cleaner. Not sure if this is the right one to use or not, but it's definitely foaming. So we'll just kind of just get it everywhere. I don't think at this point it's going to make a difference to ruin anything any worse than it is. It already smells better. When your hand gets tired of pumping, you can always switch over to the aerosol. So I'm going to do that to hit the rest of this. All right, here's post Super Clean. I think it did a pretty good job. I have no idea if it's meant to be used on the interior, but it worked because this was covered in all kinds of rat mess. It didn't fix the seat, obviously, but it is cleaner than it was, and I feel less concerned about my health to sit on that seat. Cleaned the dash up really well. It didn't do much for the carpet, but I don't expect much out of the carpet. I think it's pretty much toast. So yeah, I guess now all we need is an engine. Well, you gotta love Facebook Marketplace. I'm going to pick up a couple of engines. Hopefully one of them will work for the Barn Find C10. Thanks to Facebook Marketplace, I'm getting not one. Let's wait. but 2 small block Chevys. And hopefully we can make one of them run and put in that truck, and then off it goes. We'll see what happens. This guy has another project here. Check out them Western wheels. This one's getting parted out, so if you guys need any parts for this thing, let me know. I'll get you in contact with him. So you might think this would be the one that we're going to build, but I've been being told that this one has better compression. What do you guys think? Well, they made it. High dollar strap system there, a couple of old tires. We got ourselves some small block Chevys. Now let's see which one we can make run. Probably neither. I don't know if you can tell, but it's pretty cold outside. And I have been wrenching away in the -degree temps. And today, it just popped up over 32 degrees. And so I figured, what better to do than do a rebuild on a small block Chevy. So the candidates for the build are these two. They are both 81 to 85 small block 305. Somebody was basically getting rid of them, and so you know I picked them up cheap. So what we're going to do today is, I was told this one has less compression than this one, even though this one looks pretty dirty. But that's okay. This one's got compression. We're going to kind of go through and see what's going on with it, tear it apart a little bit, maybe even clean it up, and then stuff it in the truck. So these engines came with a lot of parts, like this one has some parts this one doesn't have, and vice versa. But a few things we're missing is a distributor. We need a carburetor. I believe this one has a fuel pump, but this one doesn't. A few other little things. These valve covers look pretty good. These don't look too bad. Between the two of them, I'm sure I'll have enough parts to make one engine. But there's a few things we know we need, so let's go to the parts pile. Well, first off, I want to thank everyone for supporting the channel, especially my sponsors, Super Clean and LugNutGuys.com. Go check those out. Of course, we're going to use Super Clean to go ahead and clean up that engine. And LugNutGuys.com, they've been helping me out with wheels and lug nuts and that kind of stuff for all of my projects, including the new Barn Find C10. So this whole pile right here, this was all stuff donated by Dalton at Pole Barn Garage. I know most of you know who he is, but if you don't, go check out his YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook, give him a sub. He was very generous in helping me out with a few little bits and pieces at just the right price. So we've got a water pump with pulley, power steering pump and pulley, a starter, which we think works. We've got a fuel filter with a fuel pump. We got a few of our accessory brackets. We got a fan. We got one engine mount in case I need that. He went ahead and got me an adapter to go from the Quadrajet to a Holly carb. And if all else fails, we can muffle our exhaust with a pair of Purple Horny glass pack mufflers. So thank you, Dalton, for all that. I appreciate it, and we're gonna go dump it into this truck real soon. I also want to thank David Morgan. He sent me a Holley 600 CFM 4-barrel carb. Went ahead and got a carb kit, so we'll put that in it. So this is all fresh and ready to go. As always, I want to thank Super Clean for sending me some product to use. We've already used it on the Barn Find C10, and we're going to use it on our engines today. And they also sent me a little bit of floor absorbent. So we're going to try that out if we need to. I got all the latest and greatest Craigslist rebuild kit for our small block Chevys. That includes Chevy orange engine enamel, some flame-proof header paint, a little bit of roll bar chassis black, just in case I need that. I went on eBay and found the absolute cheapest Chinesium distributor with plug wires. So hopefully that's gonna work in our setup. I went ahead and got a set of Excel plugs with the header plugs because that's what we're going to try to use on this. And again, I want to say thank you to everybody that helps out, donates, buys a shirt, hat, what have you. And I even got a recent purchase for a used battery from Buzz at Roadkill Customs. Thank you, Buzz. We're going to put that used battery in our Barn Find C10. Just a few of the little close-ups here. We've already got this EGR delete. Got this little vacuum port here. I'm sure it's already plugged. It's fine. I went ahead and pulled these valve covers off. Let's take a look again. And you know, it doesn't look absolutely horrible. Just a little bit of gunk in there. We'll take a closer look at that later, but here's the fun part. This engine was obviously not sitting indoors. And it had a vine growing through it. I believe this is probably poison ivy and I'm highly allergic, so that's good. So we'll just pull this whole exhaust manifold off, get all that cleaned off, scrape everything down, and get to painting. Now I've got this exhaust manifold off. Doesn't look completely horrible. Go ahead and pull these plugs, take a look at them, and see what we got to work with. These things are plenty rusty. Oh wait, no, that's rusty. This is crusty. You know, those don't look too bad. A little wet, but not bad. Well, update. Here's the 4 on the passenger side there. These don't look too bad until you get to the back one. Got a little bit of rust there. So hopefully we didn't get any water in our cylinders. I know it turns over because I can physically turn it over, but we'll have to get a better look at that. Well, I got the water neck off, and that just looks, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, yeah. I might be able to reuse it. I don't know. Maybe not. You know, as I strip this down, I start thinking I might just use the old intake from Rusty over here. I think it looks to be in better shape. That's how this goes. We're going to take from one and put on the other. And while we're here, might as well pull this valve cover off, see what it looks like. Once again, not horrible. Not horrible. Enough to make it run, I'm sure. Got those driver's side ones out. They're a little oily, but not rusty as much as that one over there. So I think we're in the clear. Let's keep going. I'm gonna go ahead and leave this one on for now. We'll go ahead and scrub this thing down, scrape all the crud off, apply some super clean, scrub it real good, and just see what we got to work with. Sometimes you're just looking for a scraper so you can clean your engine. Which scraper do I use? We got a really wide scraper for those large expanses of flat metal. You know, for the really, really frozen on stuff, we got the old scraper here. To get into those smaller areas, tight corners and such, we got this big, long leverage scraper when it's really stuck in there. Got this average sized, nobody ever said anything negative about, it's just fine the way it is scraper. And then this special little scraper, well, this little scraper knows it's special. It doesn't need anybody else to tell it it is. And it's not about the size of the scraper, it's how you use it. Now it's time to pull out the super clean and a scrubber and start cleaning this thing up. All right, I'm going to change the valve covers out. Probably use that set over there after I clean them up and paint them. But I got a lot of the oil and grime off of this side. I'm going to let it sit in front of the heater, kind of dry off. before I start on the other side and finish it up. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this intake, and I'm gonna prep that one over there to get ready to come over here. So let's pull this off, kind of take a look down inside and see what we have to work with. Look at that beautiful China wall. Yeah, we're gonna repeat that when we put it back together. However, we will not be using silicone. That's right, clear silicone everywhere else like they did. There we go. All right, I'm gonna need 2 hands for this. A little dirty, a little rusty, carboned up in some areas, but you know what? It could be worse. So let's get it cleaned up, get it ready to run. So before I shut the heat off for the night, I went ahead and started doing a little tack coat on the engine. And I'm using same VHT engine enamel, Chevy orange, just like I did over there on the valve covers. They look pretty good. This is just a light tack coat, just to get it started. Don't mind that big old dent in the bottom. That's factory clearance. Came with a set of headers, and I did test fit them, make sure they fit on the engine. Oh yeah, see, I started doing the valve covers there. But I thought we'd spruce them up a little bit. It looks pretty good. I'm using VHT flame-proof header paint. So we're gonna just call this ceramic coating. Ceramic coating. Ceramic coating. So much ceramic coating. This is gonna be so good. And it will not burn off the first time I rev it up. It's gonna stay forever. This is a permanent paint that is absolutely not gonna just burn right off. It's flame proof. Actually, it might last a little while, but this is not permanent. This is just to make it look pretty. This is how you should all do your Craigslist rebuilds. Expect nothing less. And voila. Ceramic coated headers, ready for install. Well, it's looking pretty orange. Let's get it finished off and let it bake. Now, granted, we're gonna put those valve covers on it, but just like that, it's orange. Well, as long as that sticks, should be good to go for tomorrow. Well, it's a new day. Back on the engine project today of old Krusty here. I went ahead and test fitted the headers on each side. They look like they're gonna fit pretty good. Before I put those on, I went ahead and put the air gun to the cylinders just to see what would happen. And as expected, a lot of rust came out of this back cylinder back here. Had a mud dauber come out of this cylinder, and just various bits of debris like acorn shells and cobwebs and that kind of stuff. But we're not gonna let that slow us down from pressing forward with the engine. As you saw yesterday, I ceramic coated the headers. I think they look pretty good for about 2-3 minutes of running. Then it'll go back to what it looked like before. So now I got some intake gaskets and a few other things. I'm gonna just finish cleaning up this area and get it ready to set the intake. But Krusty will be ready soon. So it's been a busy day. I got a lot done. Obviously, I got the engine kind of pretty much put together. I still got to find top dead center, put my new distributor on there, but I got the headers in place, got the spark plugs in, I got my new balancer pulley, just waiting on a water pump, but I got the water pump pulley ready. I got the clutch fan refurbed with a little bit of ch-ch, and just waiting on a few other little parts to get this thing ready to go. So that's the end of this day. We're gonna come back, get it all finalized, throw a starter on it, maybe put some fuel in it, see what happens. Well, I'm back in the shop for another day of wrenching. I'm trying to finish this 305 and get it complete and ready to go in the Barn Find C10. So, I've only got a few things left, and what I'm really getting hung up on is the little things. So, like I had a water neck, and in an attempt to kind of clean up the gasket area and all that, it ended up getting a crack, and next thing you know, it's in two pieces. So I bought the absolute cheapest one I could get, which of course is chrome and kind of chintzy, and I actually had to re-drill the holes for the bolts that they included to fit through there. So, you know, when you buy cheap, you sometimes have to modify it to work. I went ahead and plugged all the holes. We got to put the valve cover gaskets on, and I've got the oil filter on. And once the oil goes in, it's really just a matter of hooking up the starter, dropping the distributor, and putting some fuel to it, make it run. Stay tuned for phase 2 of this truck. I've got some sponsors to help me out with door handles, headlight rings, wheels, tires, that kind of stuff. So phase 2 will make this truck look a little better. Phase 1 is, let's just get it running. So close. But there's another setback. The old donor engine over here. Just going to donate the flywheel because this one didn't come with one. So I knocked all the mud off of it, and lo and behold, yeah, this is probably not going to last very long. So we're delayed another day, waiting on a flex plate to get here, and yeah, it's just constant hurry up and wait. Well, the time has come, guys. Yeah, I'm still missing a few parts, but you know, those are on the way. I look at it this way. If I keep procrastinating, this thing's never going to go in there. So at this point, I think it's time to just say, the parts will come when they come, and we'll put them on then. In the meantime, this engine needs to go in that truck today. Here we go. I want to give a special shout out to Lug Nut Guys for not only supporting my channel, but sending me this really cool shirt, which you can pick up at lugnutguys.com. And also check out their entire selection of wheels, lug nuts for just about every manufacturer out there. lugnutguys.com. I guess first thing I need to do is get this hood off. What is that, 5/8? Nope. 9/16, that's what I said. That's what I said. There's nothing I love more than trying to take a hood off by yourself. I see no issues with this. What could possibly go wrong? Still good. Pretty close. Done. Let's see if we can get this turned around and put in the truck. centered a little bit, but it's in. Mom just got home, so she's checking out the newly installed engine in the truck.
Looks good.
Now comes the hard part. I've got to put these bolts in through that one hole into the mount, and hopefully I get it on the first try. Let's see. Well, I had to get creative with a really long extension to get to those bolts on either side, but I got them. Engine is in, but I was told I'd have to pull these headers to get this engine in, and in fact, they slid right in, no problem. Got a power steering pump I gotta hook up, alternator going in tomorrow, clutch fan, and everything else. I've had a very busy day, trying to get some stuff done for Mom here at the farm, as well as fighting with this engine and getting it in. So I'm gonna call it for the night, wash up, get some rest, come back tomorrow and see what we can get done then. Well, it's the next day, and just like that, the weather has just blossomed into a beautiful spring-like temperature. Like it's almost 69 degrees. But it's time to get the C10 running out of the garage and cleaned up. Now people are saying, Buff, why didn't you even think to go ahead and tear the engine apart, see what was going on with it, or even try to get it to fire before you put all this time and effort into it? Well, I have to say this. So it's a Barn Find C10. No real history about it, and I don't have a lot of money. I've already spent 2 months of my YouTube budget just on this truck. And so you're gonna say, well, why didn't you just throw the engine in and go with that? Well, a couple of reasons. Number one, I only had so many parts available. So no matter what, I was gonna have to buy some new stuff. And if you're gonna buy new stuff, you might as well shoot some paint on it. You might as well put a little bit of effort into it. And don't get me wrong, there's very little effort into it. But at this point, I had to do something just to get this truck running and driving again. So of course, I spent very little on 2 engines, which I kind of combined into one. So I figured it should run. I'm just putting a lot of faith and hope in the fact that it's a small block Chevy. How hard can it be to make it run? Today, what I'm gonna do is finish up with a lot of the little stuff. I don't have belts yet, but I figure that's overrated. I'll measure that out and get those later. But at this point, I'm just ready to throw some fluid in it, put some gas down the old carburetor there, and see what happens. It might work, I don't know. Let's find out. Well, it's getting late, and I am just running out of steam. So I've got the wrong engine in the wrong truck, with the wrong water pump, with the wrong battery, with a whole nest of wires that just look horrible. But I'm thinking I want to see if it'll actually turn over. See if this used starter I got is any good. This is going to be fun. Alright, so this nest of wire over here. Oh yeah, see that's broken? Yeah, don't worry about that. That's fine. That's what this little battery clamp is for. It's gonna hold that right on there. Yeah, that's, come on. Totally working. You want these to be press fit like this. And then again, sometimes you want to give it a little tappy tap. I mean, with the high quality we're dealing with, what could go wrong? Oh yeah. So much juice. All right. Now, ground. Yeah, it kind of looks like this and this. Let me secure this real quick and I'll get back to you. Well, this is the most rigged up I've ever seen. I take that back. I've probably seen worse. Well, it looks like we have power. It looks like there's a ground. It might do something. Let's hook this up and see what happens. Well, the ground's not happy. But I'm happy. Well, I pretty much leaked all the fuel out, so here goes nothing. Try again. "15th time's the charm." Still angry. Fire! Fire bad. Well, obviously I got some timing issues I got to work out, and I got some huge Holly leaks I've got to deal with. So I'm going to work on that tomorrow, but we made noise. That's good enough. So thanks to Depths Tech, they sent me an awesome borescope camera thing. It's got a nice big LCD screen on it. It's got a very long cable with camera and a light, and we're going to use it on the Barn Find C10 to check out the gas tank and what have you. Pretty much anywhere we need to put this camera so that we can see what's on the other side of whatever it is we're looking at. So first things first, we're going to try it out on the old gas tank and just see what we're working with. So thanks to Depths Tech for sending me this awesome borescope with the camera. It even came with an SD card, so you don't even have to buy that. Just charge it up and you're good to go. I put the link down in the description, so go check it out. They're not paying me for this. I just wanted to show it off because they sent it to me and we're using it on the truck. Let's get back to it. So where I left off last night, I was able to get some fuel into the bowls of the carb. I noticed the carb base plate is leaking. That's on me. I obviously didn't tighten something correctly or use the wrong gasket. I don't know. But I'll fix that. It seems like the timing's off because it did actually run for a minute, but it was a high idle. And so as I continued to turn the distributor counterclockwise, it slowed down. But then it just didn't seem to want to run right. So most of all, I need to check for all the different leaks. I probably got all kinds of vacuum leaks, but I shouldn't. So I guess we'll start with vacuum leaks, get the carb off, trying to figure it out, make sure that the distributor's set where it needs to be, double check all my timing, and we should have a runner. I don't know about you, but I'm kind of excited about it. All right, let's get to it. Well, hopefully I've done all that I can do to best make this run. I've made a few adjustments. I've got my distributor set and ready. I've got my makeshift battery over here. And I just want to mention I'm picking up a used battery today thanks to Buzz. He's at Roadkill Customs if you look him up online. Buzz bought me a used battery. And if you want to help out with the project, feel free to head to buffsgarage.com and you too can buy me a used battery to use on a future project. All right, here we go. Got my bottle of gasoline. See if I can get it in there without spilling it everywhere. Probably not. Give it a minute. See if it's leaking. So far, so good. Put a little gas in the carb there. Ignition power on. Starter button activated. We got fire. A little bit more gasoline. Sounds pretty strong. All right. Got my timing light, got my fuel. Gonna hook up my distributor. Give it a little bit of juice. Where's my remote start? Woohoo! Mm-hmm. Now let's get it drinking its own gas. Woo! Let's go crazy and do something fun. Ignition, start. Whoops. Okay, we're back for day 337 of this Barn Find C10. So I purchased the Holley carburetor rebuild kit, but I got warned from several of my carburetor guys that right out of the box, this one was sticking. It's brand new, and it's sticking. See, there, it's stuck. So I've cleaned it, but it's still sticky. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the old one back in, put a new O-ring on that old one, and hopefully we can fix that. Now I can try to get this one going again with a little brake clean and get in there and just try to clean it up a little bit. But you know, be warned, right out of the box, Holley's brand new needle and seat was sticking. So I think I got the floats adjusted just right. So I'm gonna see if I can fire this up. And yeah, it's not all together. I'm still missing most of the accessory drive, but it might be enough to give her a rip and wash it. I might be too ambitious, but let's see what we can do. That's what you get for using the old off-the-shelf paint to ceramic coat your headers. You get a little smoke. Alright, I topped off the trans fluid with the cheapest stuff I could get from O'Reilly's. And it's got some on the stick. Granted, whenever it's running and in gear, it's going to circulate through the torque converter and everything else, along with all the sticks and dirt and mouse droppings. It's going to all go through there and immediately clog up the trans filter. But until then, we'll see if we got any forward-backward movement. Cross our fingers. I'm going to outside start it again because it's just how I am. All you people with your fancy inside start switches, that's just lame. Backfired.
You say you're on fire.
I'm on fire! While we're testing the transmission, we noticed we have no brakes. So Mom's going to go ahead and check the brakes, and I'm going to hook up the original fuel tank.
That's why. You ain't got nothing in that one.
That's probably why we have no brakes.
Look.
Yep. You think we would put brake fluid in it, it'd just magically work again? Without bleeding the brakes? Probably
I
not.
can't see down in there. Although anything's possible.
You know, it could be anything from, could be a bad master cylinder, could be a bad booster. However, right now it's got fluid in it. All right, let's recap. We checked to see if we have brakes, and we don't. There's brake fluid now in the reservoir that wasn't there, and I'm not bleeding the brakes. Not going to do it. The water pump is on, but there's no belt because I'm missing an alternator bracket. So that's fine. We're just going to go in short bursts. There's a small leak in the carb. It probably needs another new O-ring that I just put in, but that's Holly carbs for you. Let's see. I don't have a way to turn it on and off with the key because all that wiring has been chewed up by rats. So we're not going to worry about that at all. What else? The shifter to the transmission has been about 30% reliable, so with no brakes and no way to put it in park or neutral, I think this is going to be just fine. We did the boroscope down into the gas tank. It looked fairly clean. Didn't see any rust or anything. Haven't checked the lines. Not gonna. Got a fuel filter on it, so it's probably going to clog up immediately. But let's throw some gas in this thing, and I don't know. We might actually wash it today while it's warm out. Is it bad that it doesn't smell like gas? It smells like rat. I mean, they couldn't have got in there. That's plenty to leak on the ground and get everywhere. Or even better, fuel the fire that is likely going to happen. So I've managed to zip tie me a throttle cable. We've got twist tied ignition wires with a alligator clamp. That's our ignition on. My starter is literally a bare wire that I touched to the battery. No problems with that, I'm sure. We got fuel in the tank, which will definitely fuel the fire once it gets going, and we've proven already that's gonna happen. I think that means we go for a test drive. You got your fire extinguisher ready, Mom? Nope? Okay. All right, we're doing it without a safety net. Here we go. Oh wait, I have to start it over here because I'm an idiot. I guess here goes nothing. Nothing bad can happen, right? Okay, here goes. Are you scared? Mm-hmm. Me too. So close. You know what? That's close enough. Turn the ignition off. It moves. It drives, sort of. I need to fix a few little things and obviously tweak it so it stays running, but it goes under its own power. It definitely needs the transmission fluid topped off and we need to fix the brakes, but that's all coming on the next episode. So for now, enjoy the old montage of pressure washing this thing off. You know, there's like 18 years of barn dust and bird droppings and everything else on here. So enjoy the music. And just like that, I've lost $10,000 off the asking price by removing that beautiful barn dust. But you know what? All have cleaned up pretty good, and I'm kind of proud of how it turned out so far. So I'm gonna get the hood back on this thing, get it put back in this barn. I mean, it's been sitting in a barn almost 18 years. I can't let it sit outside. As always, thanks for watching Buff's Garage.